Namas Sarvebhyaha Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. We'll start the class with the Prarthana Shlokas. Krishno Rakshatu Manchara Chara Guruhu Krishnan Namasyamyaham Krishnena Marashatravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha Krishna Deva Samukthidam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Bhaktira Chanchalasto Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyan Namaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrutatuhe Namaha Vasudeva Sutandevam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnau Vande Jagadgurum. Sarvesham Punaswagatam.
Sapna Bhagini.
Suhrin Mitrar Yudasina.
Suhrin Is it me?
Yes.
Suran Mitraryudasinam. Suran Mitraryudasinam.
Here, this full, these two padas, they are to combine and chant together. So I just broke it here just to introduce initially, but you have to chant the whole thing at a time. I'll tell you. Sina. Suhran Mitrar Yudas. Oh, Udasinam is correct. No, Udasina. Udasina.
Okay. Suran Mitraryudasina. Suran Mitraryudasina.
Madhyastattveshya bandhushu.
Madhyastattveshya bandhushu. Madhyastattveshya bandhushu.
So here, Suhrit, Mitram, Ari, Udasinam, Madhyastham, Dveshyam, Bandhushu. So all these are together. Bandhushu is connected here. So that's why we cannot split it in between. So I will chant without splitting. We will learn without splitting these things. Suhran Mitrar Yudasina Madhyastadveshya Bandhushu.
Suran Mitraryudasina Madhyastattveshya Bandhushu. Suran Mitraryudasina Madhyastattveshya Bandhushu.
Sina Madhyasta. Sina Madhyasta. Together. Okay. Sadhushvapicha papeshu.
Sadhushvapicha papeshu. Sadhushvapicha papeshu.
Samabuddhir vishishyate.
Samabuddhir vishishyate. Samabuddhir vishishyate.
So here, in the earlier sloka, we found that the yogi will treat the inert things like a clod of earth or a stone or a piece of gold in the same way. He doesn't distinguish between clod of earth, stone, and that's all inert things. And this gold piece, he doesn't distinguish. It's all inert things. So what about how he views people of various status, how he views them. So Suhrin Mitra, he stands supreme, who has equal regard. He has got equal respect and equal treatment for friends, Suhran Mitra, and companions and enemies, Ari. Udasinam, that is neutrals. Now Udasinam is neutrals. Madhyastham is arbiters, those who try to do arbitrating work, and Dveshyam, the hateful people, Bandhushu, relatives. So all these kinds of people, various status, Sugrat, friends, companions, arbiters, hateful people, bandhushu, and then sadhushu api. Sadhu means saints. Sadhushu api. So if you combine sadhushu api, papeshu, that is saints, and papeshu is sinners, those who have done sins, or samabuddhir vishishyate. He treats them, all of them equal. He has got equal regard for all of them. As for yogi, all beings are manifestations of the same divinity. Everyone has the same divinity. So he treats everyone the same way. Even he has a soft attitude, even to his enemy. Enemy also, he has a kind attitude to enemy also. So that is the sign of a yogi. As I told you, Suhran Mitra. So there is a Ditvam here, Suhran Mitra. You can chant this. I think it will come automatically. And don't break here. Don't break here. You can chant without breaking. Only this line. This you can, as usual, sadhu swapi japa peshu. We can stop here. Somabuddhir vishishyate. You'll chant. Continue.
Varalakshmi Ramesh Bhagini.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshu bandhushu. Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadvesha bandhushu.
Ma'am, you just don't break here. You hold your breath and then Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu in one breath.
Suhan mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshu bandhushu.
Madhyasthadveshya. That is the ditvam here. Madhyasthadveshya bandhushu. Once again.
Suhun mitrar yudasina madhyasthadvesha bandhushu.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu.
Sadhushvapisha papeshu. Sadhushvapisha papeshu.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu.
Sadhushvapisha papeshu. Sadhushvapisha papeshu.
Samabuddhir vishishyate.
Samabuddhir vishishyate. Samabuddhir vishishyate.
Uttam. Well chanted.
Savita Ji and Bhagini.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu.
Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu. Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Uttam. Well chanted.
Anasuya Bhagini.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu.
Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyasthadvesha bandhushu. Suhran mitrar yudasina madhyasthadvesha bandhushu.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Uttam. Well chanted.
Dhanyawad.
Shri Vidushini Bhagini.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu. Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
सुहृन् मित्रार्युदाहीन मध्यस्तद्वेष बन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते.
Uttam. Vishishyate. Dirgha.
विशिष्यते.
Uttam. Well chanted.
Hema Bhagini.
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्तद्वेष्यबन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते.
Uttam, you are slightly breaking here.
Yes, Madhya, I felt I need practice for this.
Okay, you just hold your breath and just slightly, you can try once again.
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्तद्वेष्यबन्धुषु.
Yes, you are taking a breath there. You are taking Udasina.
Yes.
So you can hold your breath for just practice this. Okay.
Okay, Madhya.
Dhanyawad, Madhya.
Dhanyawad.
One more person can chant this.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
Suhrudan mitraryudasina madhyasthadye. Oh my, I'll try again. Suhrudan
Mitra.
Suhrun mitraryudasina madhyasthadveshya bandhushu.
Yeah.
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate.
Uttam. Dhanyawad.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Nagamani Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam. Yogi yunjita satatam.
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Ekaki yata chittatma.
Ekaki yata chittatma. Ekaki yata chittatma.
Nirashira parigraha.
Nirashira parigraha. Nirashira parigraha.
Uttam, that's it. So,
Dhanyawad.
what is the preparation one has to make to attain this universal outlook? This sort of a benign attitude, is sort of a equal regard for all animals or all living beings as well as all inert things also. What is the preparation that is required? That is what is the question here. So a yogi, yunjita, always yunjita, be engaged. Satatam means always engaged, to concentrate his mind on himself, and living alone, ekaki, that is living alone in solitude. Yatachittatma, you know by now, that is controlling or subduing his mind, and also his self-control as well as controlling his mind and body, and get rid of all desires. Nirashi, that is get rid of all desires, and also any greed or anything, he can get rid of those things, and living in solitude and controlling his mind and his self, and he can constantly be engaged in that state. So that is what Bhagavan suggests for getting that equanimity towards all living beings and all objects on this earth. So that is what Bhagavan is prescribing for yogi. Yogi, this is Dirka. Yogi yunjita satatam. Atmanam rakasi sthitaha. There is a rasva followed by this samyuktashra, sthitaha. Rakasi sthitaha. Ekaki. This is also dirkha. Yatachittatma dirkha. Nirashira parigraha. There is a parigraha. See, this is a rasva. Then samyuktashra, gra. So that's why you have got a ditvam. Parigraha. Continue.
Pushpa Bhagini.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam. Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
No, there
Yogi yunjita satatam.
there not yogi yunjita satatam. Yogi dirgha. Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Yes. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Here only Raswa. Rahasi sthitaha.
Rahasi sthitaha.
Here it is dirgha, here it is
Because
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Ekaki yata chittatma.
Ekaki yata chittatma. Ekaki yata chittatma.
Nirashira parigraha.
Nirashira parigraha. Nirashira parigraha.
Here, Dhanyavada. Nirashira parigraha. Actually, Dhanyavada. So this is Nirashira parigraha. That is, it is I is there in this, involved in that. That is giving away all greed or greed for possessions. Nirashi means no desires and not aspiring for many possessions, etc. That is aparigraha. We'll continue.
Bholap Mahodaya.
Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Yogi yujjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Yogi yujjita satatam
Yunjita.
Okay. Yogi yunjita satatam
Gita. Dirgha is there.
Yunjita.
Yunjita satatam.
Yogi yunjita satatam.
Not Yunjita.
Yunjita.
No, Yunjita satatam.
Yunjita satatam.
Yes.
Atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Atmanam. Dirgha. Atmanam.
Okay. Yogi yunjita satatam. Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Sthitaha.
This is Mahaprana. Sthitaha.
Okay. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
The Yunjita. Yunjita is there.
Okay. Yunjita.
Okay. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha.
Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha.
Uttam, well done.
Dhanyavad sir.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasti sthitaha. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha.
Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha.
Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha.
Uttam, well channeled. Dhanyavad.
Veni Shankar Narayan Bhagini.
Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha.
Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha. एकाकी यत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकी यत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः
उत्तम धन्यवादः
Lakshmi HS Bhagini.
फुल श्लोक
योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः
उत्तम वेल
धन्यवादः
Raghunath Mahodaya.
योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः
उत्तम वेल धन्यवादः धन्यवादः
Padma Jagan Bhagini.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचम्
नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचम्
चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
उत्तम. So what is the setting required for meditation practice? So this is this chapter is about dhyana yoga or atma sanyama yoga. So what is setting required to get good meditation practice? So suchau deshe, family, clean place, seated in a clean place. Suchau deshe, clean place, and also firmly sthiramasana matmanaga, firmly fixed with good foundation, sthiram, that is steady seat, which is not neither too high, not too chridam, that is not too high, not too low, nati nicham. So if it is too high, one will get dizziness. If it is too low, the bottom, there will be problem, some insects might come and all that. So those sort of things. So don't, not too high, not too less, not too low. Nati chridham, nati nijam, chailajina kushottaram. That is, you should one should sit over over kusha grass, kushottaram, kushaha, that is kusha grass, and then deer skin, and also a cloth, one over the other. Kusha grass, deer skin, cloth, like that, putting one over the other, and in that place one should sit and do his meditation, because there's a close relationship between the environment and the state of mind of a person. So if a person sits in a place which is dirty or something, so he won't get that. The mind should be free. There should be nothing disturbing him in any way. So environment will have an influence. Suppose it will be too cold, it will be too hot. So those things you should adjust, and you should take precautions so that he is not feeling that too hot or too cold. And like that in a place you should, because then only you get a good meditation. So this is what is meant here. So like that we should choose a place and sit conveniently. So Suchau Deshe Pradishtapya, this is Mahaprana, Pradishtapya, Sthiramasana Matmanaha. Sthiram, there is steady, Sthiramasana Matmanaha. Natyuchridam, this is a Mahaprana here. Natyuchridan, Natyuchridan Natinijam. So there is a Anuswara appropriate Nakara. So instead of this Anuswara, you can tell na in. Natyuchritan natinijam chailajina kushottaram. You continue.
Bholap Mahodaya.
Shuchau deshe pratishthapya.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य
Sthiramasanamaatmanah.
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
Natyuchritannati nicham.
नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं sorry sir
Once again.
नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं
Chailajina kushottaram.
चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं
Dhanyawad.
Anasuya Bhagini.
Shuchau deshe pratishthapya sthiramasanamaatmanah.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमानसमात्मनः
Oh, this second pada.
स्थिरमासनमात्मनः
Natyuchritannati nicham chailajina kushottaram.
नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं
So, well done. Dhanyawad.
धन्यवादः महोदय
Raghunath Mahodaya.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Well done. Dhanyawad.
Sapna Bhagini.
Shuchau deshe pratishthapya sthiramasanamaatmanah natyuchritannati nicham chailajina kushottaram.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Uttamam. Well chanted.
Hema Bhagini.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Uttamam. Very good. Okay, natyuchritam. There is a Mahaprana is there. So you can study that.
नात्युच्छ्रितन्
Yes. Uttamam.
नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Uttamam. Well chanted. Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
Full sloka.
शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितन्नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम्
Uttamam. Well chanted. Dhanyawad.
Lakshmi H.S. Bhagini.
Tatraikagram manah krutva.
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा
यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात्
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद्
योगमात्मविशुद्धये Uttam. So sitting there on this seat, which is as we said, it's not high, too too low. It is very medium height, and with the kushottaram, that is the kushagras and all that, sitting there firmly. So sitting there on this seat and making the mind one-pointed. That is, tatraikagram manah krutva. Tatra, sitting there, ekagram, that is making the mind one-pointed, ekagram manah krutva, yata chittendriya kriyaha. Yata chittendriya means controlling, conquering, or restraining the thinking facility, and also indriyam. Indriyam, senses. So the mind as well as the indriyas, controlling them, or restraining the thinking as well as the movement of the senses, sitting there and making the mind one-pointed and controlling or restraining this thinking and indriyas. He should practice yoga. Yunjyat, upavisyasane, yunjyat means engage or practice. Yogam, that is the yoga. Atma Vishuddhaye, or self-purification. Atma Vishuddhaye. So this is what a yogi does, sitting there in the seat that we described, the way that is seated, and ekagram, one point, making the mind one-pointed, and restraining all the senses and the mind, and you should engage in the practice of yoga for Atma Vishuddha, that is purification of the mind. So this happens. So suspend the senses and resting the mind in the self. Suspend the senses means suspend the usage of the senses, and resting the mind on the self is the means for self-purification. That is for self-purification. So like bathing you do for purifying the body. Similarly, you do this for purification of the mind, also has to be purified like this, and repeatedly by merging into the self, repeating into the Atman. So this process is lifelong. Just like we take bath every day for body purification, this mind purification also, it is a lifelong process. Every day we must practice this, so that we get all those qualities which are very essential for a human being, and also for happiness and bliss. It is very essential. So we'll continue. We'll see this. Tatraikagram manah krutva yata chittendriya kriyaha. There is a this ya is not there. The tendriya kriyaha. This is ditvam here, because rasa followed by samtaksha. Upavisyasane yunjyad yogam atma vishuddhaye. There is a mahaprana here. Yogam atma vishuddhaye. For self-purification, you have to be engaged in the yoga. We'll continue.
Yes, Kalavati Bhagini.
Tatraikagram manah krutva.
Tatraikagram manah krutva. Tatraikagram manah krutva.
Yata chittendriya kriyaha.
Yata chittendriya kriyaha. Yata chittendriya kriyaha.
Upavisyasane yunjyad.
Upavisyasane yujyat. Upavisyasane yujyate.
Yunjyad.
Yunjyat.
Nya is the yunjyad.
Yunjyat.
Yes.
Yunjyat. Upavisyasane yunjyate.
Yes. Yogamatma vishuddhaye.
Yogamata vishuddhaye. Yogamata vishuddhaye.
Atma vishuddhaye. Yogamatma vishuddhaye.
Yogamatma vishuddhaye. Yogamatma vishuddhaye.
Yes. Uttam.
Anasuya Bhagini.
Tatraikagram manah krutva yata chittendriya kriyaha.
Tatraikagram manah krutva yata chittendriya kriyaha. Tatraikagram manah krutva yata chittendriya kriyaha.
Chittendriya kriyaha. Not ya is not.
Yeah, sorry. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
उपविश्यासने युञ्जात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये उपविश्यासने युञ्जात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
उत्तमं गच्छामि धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः
वेणी शंकर नारायण भगिनी
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यदचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः तत्रैकाग्रमनः कृत्वा यदचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यदचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
धन्यवादः गच्छामि
नागमणि भगिनी
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये धन्यवादः धन्यवादः
सपना भगिनी
श्लोक
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये
हेमा भगिनी
समङ्काय शिरोग्रीवम्
समङ्गाय शिरोग्रीवन् समङ्गाय शिरोग्रीवन् Mahodaya, it is ma or in at the last?
Only. That is, we are stopping here. That is why Grivam.
Okay. I should correct it now. It's given in, so shall I correct it?
Correct it. Just we are chanting, for chanting purpose, we are breaking here.
Okay, okay.
Samankaya Vishiro Grivam.
Samangaya Shiro Grivam.
Kaya, Samankaya.
Kaya, okay, okay. Samankaya Shiro Grivam. Samankaya Shiro Grivam.
Dharayanna Chalam Sthiraha.
Dharayanna Chalam Sthiraha. Dharayanna Chalam Sthiraha.
Samprechya Nasikagram Swam.
Samprechya Nasikagram Swan. Samprechya Nasikagram Swan.
No, Swan, we are not, we are break here. Swam.
Okay,
Swam.
okay, okay. Samprechya Nasikagram Swam.
Dishaschanavalokayan.
Deshaschanavalokayan. Deshaschanavalokayan.
So, how to discipline the body for concentration of mind? How to discipline the body? So, Samankaya, let him hold the body, the head and the neck erect. Tharayan achalam sthira, hold kayam shiroho, the neck, the head, and also the body will be erect and still and also then the spinal cord becomes erect until gazing at the tip of his nose. Samprecha nasikagram swam. So he's on concentrating the gazing on the tip of the nose. So without looking around, this is chan avalokayan, na avalokayan. That is, do not looking around, just holding straight and straight face, and he should not look around. That is, he should not disturb himself, and hold the eyes should be concentrated on the tip of the nose, nasikagram, tip of the nose. So then what happens when the body, head and neck are erect, the spinal cord becomes vertical. The spinal cord becomes vertical. So there will be a harmonious breathing will be there, and meditation posture should be firm, sthiraha, firm posture, and mind, because of that, the mind calms down. Mind calms down. In meditation, all modifications to the mind merge in the self. So anything that happens in some change, thoughts coming around, then immediately the self will take over and it will remove that thoughts. So it will be constantly you are thinking about the self. So the thoughts will come, but it will be cleared by this thinking the self. So there will be perfect bliss will be there. Perfect bliss in that state. So you hold the body straight and looking at the tip of the nose, he will be, and also not looking around, he will be in perfect dhyanam, and that will help in getting bliss. So we'll continue. Samankaya. This is there's a Anuswara rule is there. Samankaya Shirogrivam, because here we are breaking. That's why otherwise Grivandharayan will come. But since we are breaking here, Shirogrivam, swam, like that. We'll continue.
Lakshmi Kiran Bhagini.
Samankaya Shirogrivam.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Samankaya Shirogrivam.
Dharayannachalam sthiraha.
Dharayannachalam sthiraha. Dharayannachalam sthiraha.
Samprekshya nasikagram swam.
Samprekshya nasikagram swam. Samprekshya nasikagram swam.
Dishaschanavalokayan.
Dishaschanavalokayan. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Tamam, well chanted.
Molak Mahodaya.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam sthiraha.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam stiraha. Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam stiraha.
Dharayannachalam sthiraha.
Dharayannachalam stiraha.
Samprekshya nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Sampreksha nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Uttamam, well chanted.
Dhanyawad.
Meenakshi Bhagini.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam sthiraha. Samprekshya nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam sthiraha. Samprekshya nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Uttamam, well chanted. Dhanyawad.
Raghunath Mahodaya.
Samankaya Shirogrivam. Dharayannachalam sthiraha. Sampreksha nasikagram swam. Dishaschanavalokayan.
Uttamam, well chanted. Dhanyawad. So we'll have time for
You recite, Mahodaya.
Suhrin mitrar yudasina madhyasthattveshya bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha Shuchau deshe pratishthapya sthiramasanamatmanaha natyuchhritan nati nicham chailajina kushotaram tatraikagram manah krutva yata chittendriyakriyaha upavisyasane yunjad yogamatma vishuddhaye Samankaya shirogrivam dharayannachalam sthiraha samprekshya nasikagram swam dishaschanavalokayan. Samapayamaha, we conclude with the Shanti mantra. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti